We call our home Earth, but from out here, it is almost entirely blue. Water covers nearly 3/4 of the surface of our planet. Maps often divide this water up and give it different names, making it seem like there are 5 separate oceans. In reality, every drop is part of one massive, interconnected system. This shows the true scale of the largest region, the Pacific Ocean. It is so massive that you could take every single continent on the planet and fit them entirely inside its boundaries. To the marine life swimming through it, the borders we draw don't exist. This single borderless engine drives the climate for our whole world. The rest of this global highway is made of 4 other major regions. The Atlantic Ocean divides the Americas from Europe and Africa. Then there's the Indian Ocean, the only one named after a specific country. And the Arctic Ocean, the smallest giant, sitting under a layer of ice at the North Pole. At the very bottom of the world, the Southern Ocean swirls completely around Antarctica. Its freezing waters push powerful currents that circulate across the globe. These oceans act as a shifting foundation where land begins. Far beneath the surface, the sea floor is a factory, constantly forging new land through volcanic heat. Islands come in different forms. Greenland represents a continental island. Think of it as a massive fragment of a continent that broke away and is now surrounded by the sea. Even though it is circled by water, Greenland is essentially a piece of the North American landmass. But land also appears in the deep ocean, thousands of miles away from any continent. To see how, look below the surface at the Earth's solid crust. Magma pushes up through the ocean floor, cooling as it hits the water. Over millions of years, this rock stacks higher until it breaks the surface to form a new island. The ocean is constantly at work, taking liquid fire from deep underground and cooling it into solid, habitable ground. Other islands aren't made of rock. They are built entirely by tiny, living organisms called coral polyps. As the ocean floor sinks, these polyps build upward toward the sunlight. Eventually, the central land disappears, leaving a ring of coral called an atoll. You can see these living rings in the Maldives. From above, they appear as bright suckles resting on the deep blue water. These islands often cluster together into an archipelago, a vast chain of peaks grouped together across the surface of the water. Because these islands are built by living creatures, they depend entirely on the health of the water that supports them. Despite their immense size, our oceans are highly sensitive to human behavior. Commercial boats can pull millions of fish from the water at once. This sudden removal starves the predators that rely on them, causing the entire food web to collapse. Our plastic waste travels too. Global currents act like massive conveyor belts, sweeping up trash from cities and gathering it into floating garbage patches out at sea. As global temperatures rise, polar ice melts and adds more water to the oceans. This raises sea levels, directly floating the low-lying coral islands we've explored. Because the ocean is one connected system, a problem on a single coastline quickly travels to become a crisis for the whole planet. We have shown that we can use our political borders for protection. Take the Antarctic Treaty. Nations from around the world agreed to set aside the entire continent of Antarctica and its surrounding waters strictly for peace and research. The stakes are incredibly high. These microscopic marine plants, called phytoplankton, produce more than half of all the oxygen in our atmosphere. Every second breath you take is manufactured by the ocean. The future of the blue planet relies entirely on the choices we make on land.